Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special geek out where Mike and I have a whole bunch of guests on, and we're going to talk about PAX Unplugged because all of us went to PAX. Jacob probably would have joined us too, but I knew he had a game, so I didn't bother asking him. I probably should have. Oh well.
He's
He
in
would
the
have been,
chat
he would have
somehow.
been on and running the game at the same time.
Yeah, probably. All right. So, who we have with us today? We have Wes from DM Tales, as you guys probably already know. We have Mike, obviously, my partner in crime and Geek Out. We have GM Neal, which is the first time he's been on the stream with, and then we have our friend over at Avenue Studios, Dan. How you all doing tonight?
I'm
Awesome.
all right.
And
I'm
Elgato.
tired.
Sorry, guys.
And
Hold on. I'll
Dan
fix
just
it.
disappeared.
Elgato.
That was perfect timing.
Every time.
Awesome.
All right. I guess I want to start out and say, what was your favorite moment at PAX? Because I'm sure there's plenty of them. Don't all speak at once.
So I'm sure I'm the
completely
odd one in
right.
this group right now, because my favorite moment had nothing to do with role-playing games. My family went with me, and my youngest decided he wanted to do Magic the Gathering, and we went and ran one of the tournaments for whatever their new expansion was, I forget. But watching him put together like his first booster draft deck, no help, just building it all from scratch. Yeah, super impressed.
Well, that's awesome.
Awesome.
I would have to say, seeing how Plaguebound was more popular than Ironbound, that was an interesting and exciting moment for me.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I got way more people in my Plaguebound games than I did my Ironbound games.
Really?
Of course. Yeah, I did. A lot more.
I mean, I guess we've always wondered why there isn't more modern urban fantasy.
Right.
Don't think people want it.
People just don't want it.
Genre.
Which is weird.
Which is sad.
It's such a cool genre, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Dan, and that
I know.
can
I'm sorry. I'll fix it.
Elgato!
As soon as I go to get up, it like
you just need to get a new cable for it.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
I know somebody had some really exciting moments. GM Neal, you had some really exciting moments during PAX.
yes, I did. I probably one of the biggest moments. I had a bunch was just going to PAX and meeting like everyone, all the Lurking Fears people, yourself, and then just all my players that I played with. I played with 25 players, and at GaryCon was one of the first times people were actually like giving me stuff. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I wish I had something to give them. So I was online and I made these. They says I played with GM Neal.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
And so if
That's a
you
good
play-
idea.
Yeah. So everyone likes the little tags that go on the badges. So if
Yeah.
you play in one of my games, you get one of these. And that's the only thing. So
That is a very good idea.
So
Yeah,
that
I would have
was,
never thought of that.
my big, one of my biggest things was giving those out, and but then I have something bigger if you want me to, and I mentioned it a little
Sure,
bit.
go ahead. That's
So
what this is about.
I was I saw a post. So I went to Gen Con, I played in a Lurking Fears game, and then I joined their Facebook, and I saw a post. They were looking for someone to run Balazu Bestiary, or the Balazu Adventures, the Jewel of the Indigo Isle. And I was like, I can do that. I'm a huge Pathfinder 2nd Edition fan, huge Mark Seifter fan. huge Roll for Combat Stephen Glicker fan. So I'm like, yeah, I definitely can do that. So I applied, I got in. That's why Lurking Fears. And so I'm on my second game, and out of my eye, I see Stephen Glicker. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Stephen Glicker. So we talk, and I take his picture, get his autograph, which is here. This is my copy of the Jewel of the Indigo Isles.
Okay.
One thing he did say that I guess I didn't realize that like I should have put like padding and stuff. I just put it in a bag, and then it got like marred by stuff, so it's a little chewed up. But this he signed it. GM Neal, keep gaming and killing those PCs.
There you go.
And signed Stephen Glicker.
I'm
So
glad he specified PCs and not players.
yeah.
It is the eternal confusion.
Yeah. So then I was on Saturday. I had some time, and I was just out doing, the normal,
floor.
just the con, the floor. And so I bump into Steven again, and he's with Professor Dungeon Master and Bob Lord, World Builder. So I asked for a picture, and they take it, and so I have a picture with myself, Steven, Bob, or I didn't get to talk to Bob, but he just like kind of like, hey, jumped in, yeah, and
That sounds like Bob.
Professional Dungeon Master doing my signature, and I always, anytime I take a picture, I do it. That's my pose. So, even like company work pictures.
There you go.
So they kind of, everyone's like, what? Anyway, so the last one was I was in line. I just had it too. Oh, it's right here. And I went to the Free League booth, and I bought Outgunned. And they had a little thing written. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know.
I'm jealous.
And they had a little thing that says they'll be here 2 to 3. So I'm like, well, I have some time. I should be able to, go there. And so at 2, I see them. I talk with them. I actually get their picture. And before I do, I'm like, I'm just talking with them. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm here with, running games through Lurking Fears and stuff like that. And for Bowser, and Steven Glicker comes right around the booth again, just like out of like thin air. And I'm like, hey, you want to take the picture with us? And he's like, no, yeah, I got enough pictures. You got enough pictures with me. He takes my camera, and then he takes the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So someone with Lurking Fears, she was watching us, or she was watching Steven Glicker take the picture, and I felt like, have you ever seen like the anytime like a a celebrity is taking a picture with someone else? That's how I felt. Like I was like, oh, but no, it was absolutely amazing.
I just think it's funny because Steven Glicker would laugh that you called him a celebrity.
To me, it is. So it was just I had a blast. I ran 25 players, I believe, and I would do it again, but I'll let everyone else share their experiences. And I'm sorry, we were talking before, and Wes was saying that he didn't get a chance to get.
Yeah, I don't hate you at all.
Okay.
On the other hand, Wes could
Not at all.
probably easily just email them and be like, hey, could I have a signed copy, and here's some money for it? You could definitely do that, Wes.
I will definitely do that. I can email Simone. Yes, I can do that.
It's not like you don't have their contacts.
Not the same.
It was just the fact that they were right here. And I emailed them on Sunday. I was like, I was running a game, and he was just like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, I missed it." I was so upset.
I ran into the same problem. I was running a game at the exact time.
Well, I missed the Land of Eam creators were there. I didn't get a chance to go back to Exalted Funeral to meet them on Saturday, so I was kind of bummed for that bit. And Neal's rubbing it in, so it's okay.
I guess my most exciting thing that I saw that I actually like at booths was Amber from Foundry. That thing is
that looks
so
I missed that.
amazing.
I looked at videos. That looks so cool.
It's so awesome. Like the day-night cycles, the clicking on a hex map to bring up maps. It's just gorgeous. They are doing so much amazing work with that.
They're
backed
really
it after
pushing
that.
Foundry, right? You backed it after that?
After that, I was
really?
like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, that looks
So you
a lot
can,
more interesting than I thought it was.
for Ember right now, you can pre-order it and back it on Patreon. Like, how's that work?
So I guess it was technically the pre-order. You're
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, it's pre-order.
I might pre-order it if nothing else.
Because they had it on Kickstarter, I think, and I backed it during Kickstarter. So,
and that's running their system.
It's running. Oh, it's running two options: 5e or Crucible. So you can do either in it, and it just looks so gorgeous. And all the maps that they have look gorgeous and beautiful. I don't know who they have doing their maps, but they're amazing. I just want it for all the extra maps, just because
it's really cool.
It's so beautiful maps. And probably the other thing I saw that was interesting. Trying to think now. This is the problem with doing it not right after. I can't remember. We'll go on to it. What about you guys? Did you guys see anything at the boost that you thought was cool or needed?
You know, I didn't get to a whole lot of new boosts this year. Because
I didn't see that many new RPG boosts, honestly.
I mean, there were a couple. I didn't go hunting, and I didn't have time. That was the coolest thing for me this year, was just with year 3 in, I actually had people who are like, "Wes, we want you to stop by the booth and talk to us." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess I do that now." So I had scheduled interviews for the first time, which was really cool, because the creators make more time for you. Like, you're not just doing like a handheld by the booth. Like, I had my little mini tripod thing set up and whatnot. But I didn't get to like go wandering. Like, I didn't see the Foundry booth. I didn't even get to talk to Chaosium, because I was always like, by the time I was there, I was like, I have to get over and run a game. So that was kind of a bummer for me. So I got to figure that out a little bit. But one of the things that I did like about that was that I got to meet people and talk with them in person that I had been interacting with on email for, a year or months, or
right.
So like talking with Inkwell Ideas was a lot of fun. Like, he's just a really nice guy. Like real that typical dry software engineer sense of humor. Because they run we were talking about Worldographer, and he's like, we still run it in Java, and you can just tell that like this is like painful for him. And I'm like, oh, it's write once, run anywhere. And he looked at me and goes, well, it's write once and debug everywhere. So it was like, that was a fun time. And then like my cool moment was, which I was telling you guys, I was up in the media room and I was just having lunch on Saturday. I didn't even have time to run over to the market to get anything. So I was like eating bad convention food. And Paladin Pros came over and introduced himself. It's like, Wes, I'm Paladin Pros. I'm like, oh my gosh, because we interact on the channel all the time. And I was like, come on over and eat with us. Well, I had seen where he was eating. He's eating with like Stephen Glicker and Professor Dungeon Master. Jean-Luc from the Dungeon's Key was there, who I just met there. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm sitting at the Cookins table. And that was kind of fun. And I find like I interacted with Professor Dungeon Master like for the last couple of years, like here and there on his Facebook book group and stuff like that. But he like, we finally like actually met each other, and we'd actually encountered like running in like the same circles in parallel for a long time. So it's fun to be able to finally meet him face to face, say hi, how are you, thank you for what you do. And then Stephen Glicker came over, and we had talked in Page because Dan was bugging Dan and Jacob were bugging him at Page because Stephen Glicker had just murdered Dan's children, or Jacob's children. And he had remembered me. It's like, Wes, I didn't give you my card last time. It's like, oh, that was cool. It's like, yeah, I would not have come over here because I didn't want to just fanboy. And Stephen just kind of is like, Wes, that's what this is for. Like, just come and fanboy. I'm like, okay, I do that now. So that was a really just a fun time just to kind of sit down and hang out and talk silly things and listen to what people are doing. It was quite cool.
Now, you got some really good interviews too.
It was fun. I loved it. Yeah. Where did Dan go?
Dan is having technical problems. He should be back.
Oh, Dan Elgato.
He's resetting Chrome and a couple things right now. You interviewed a lot of people, so I know you haven't released all the interviews, but are you up for saying who was the smoothest interview?
The smoothest interview.
I didn't want to say greatest because that's just mean trying to.
Yeah.
But like, which one went?
And if I don't say you for the greatest, that's just kind of mean.
No, it's not. I was horrible.
You were great. What are you talking about? No, it's fine.
What game were? Hold on one sec. We have a question. What game were you talking about? Amber, it had a Kickstarter. Yeah. So Amber is part of is a new kind of like a sister to Foundry. It's going to just play it's a VTT that's just going to play two systems. It's going to play D&D 5e, or it's going to play Crucible. And that will be like, that's all it does. But it has a whole bunch of cool things with it that it does.
If you've been around for a while on them, it almost reminded me of a blending of two other digital games that I've played, Neverwinter Nights, and kind of how they built their campaign world that you could mod out and give to others.
Oh, yeah.
And then Legends of the Sword Coast. I'll keep talking, but sorry. Legends of the Sword Coast, which may not have been a very popular game, seeing how the server's no longer out there, but kind of the way that they blended a live GM playing with players who were playing, I think that Neverwinter Night kind of campaign mod world, but you had a live GM that was kind of playing and building those encounters at the same time. That's what it reminded me of. Not saying it's those things, but that's really what it felt like to me.
Awesome.
It just feels really cool.
The preview trailers look really cool.
I saw the Kickstarter. I wasn't able to back it, but I probably will pre-order it once.
What's the pre-order cost now? Is it like 70?
I don't know. Do you want me? You're really gonna have me look it up, aren't you?
I put this site in Twitch. That'll tell you.
Oh, thank you.
You can pre-purchase Amber for $100 for early access.
Okay, but it's for everything.
You can get the pre-order. Let's see. Yeah, it's for everything, right? So it looks like it's
not a bad
$100.
price.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not a bad price for what you get.
For what it is, it's super amazing. Like, there's a cosmology, there's a leveling system that allows you to pick things. There's items, there's going to be maps, there's going to be everything. It looks really cool.
And you're getting a system with it.
And you're getting Crucible. Yeah, Crucible
Yeah.
is going to be included with it, I believe.
Yep.
And Crucible looks awesome on its own. I mean, if you like 5e, it's pretty awesome.
Where's Scrat?
Yeah, everybody drink. But it's also
I am not a 5e person, as we know.
The cool thing about it is it's going to be using Foundry to its fullest too.
Yes, it
is. It's the first thing that really pushes it to the limits.
Right.
Which is cool.
It's going to use stuff that's not even in Foundry.
Right.
They're writing special code just for this.
Well, I'm really hoping that the hex crawling is just going to get pushed out so that you can easily develop hex crawls.
There is
Because I don't
thought-
mind doing it in Foundry, but
I did talk to
Man.
the guy there, and I asked him that question. I said, "Is it going to? Is that feature going to be coming from them into Foundry?" And he says, "There's a lot of features. I don't know the exact ones, but there's a lot of features that are going to get transferred over."
that would be awesome.
So
That would be so cool. That would make me happy.
I'm very excited about that. Dan, you guys did Man on the Streets. You did some Man on the Street videos.
Yeah, that was fun.
Some of those came out really good.
Relatively. I mean, it's our first go at it, and we'd love to take it a step further next time. But
So-
it was fun. That's our style. And Jacob knows so much. Shout out to Jacob in chat if he's still there, killing players or characters or whatever. But he just knows all the products so well. So I feel like he just does such a great job talking, because everyone's like, "Oh, have you played this before?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." And I'm like,
How?
How?
How does he doesn't sleep? He only sleeps 20 minutes a day.
So that was really fun. I'm trying to think what the coolest one for us is it was cool because it's a new indie card game, Hero Tales of the Tomes. That looked really interesting. If anyone's seen our channel, we've reviewed Alpha Clash before, and it kind of had a similar vibe to that, but it was fantasy, where Alpha Clash is superheroes, where they're definitely trying to like stick it back to certain other companies and card games that are now like pay to play.
Okay.
According to Jacob, they played it tonight, and Michelle loved it.
Oh,
And
good. We would love to. That
Jacob says Watsy sucks.
Watsy sucks.
I was trying to be coy, but that's fine.
Wait a minute, Jacob. Just to like, you're running Suede right now, not 5e?
Suede. He's running fast.
Okay,
Suede.
he's running Suede right now. Okay. I just think it would have been hysterical for him to say that while he's running 5e. He runs 5e professional
do it.
games.
Yeah, but he.
If he can't, he'll try
If he
at the end of
tries
every
not to.
session.
Tries
He's
not
like,
to.
you could do this better in this system or this system.
So
Hero, Tales of the Tombs. Yes, that's the one we were just
Tales of the
talking
Tomes. So that's cool. We're hoping to have him, the creator, because the same guy that created the game does all the art. So he's kind of like a one-man team.
That's
So
awesome.
that's what's really cool.
I just pulled it up on Board Game Geek, and Jimmy Eller.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, honestly, that looks like something I would play, because I tried getting into Magic like years ago, and I just couldn't. It was a high barrier to entry for me, and plus there's a lot of cards you have to collect and stuff. I've always liked self-contained card games.
Right.
Like I love Ascension because it's self-contained,
Mhm.
and so this seems like,
Because
no collecting. Yeah.
right. You draw from the same deck, and it sounds really interesting. I'm hoping we'll play it on our channel some, and
Oh, cool.
I love supporting those little guys too. It's so cool.
Oh,
He had
yeah.
a great setup
I
there,
mean, We're all three little
get
guys,
the-
so.
Yes. Yeah.
But Magic became too big and too expensive.
Yeah. It's
I missed.
I know what
Magic
you're
thing
trying to
completely.
do,
Inevitable.
Skillum, and you're not going to get me on a rant.
He's trying.
He is trying hard.
I love it.
Between him
You know
and
what?
Jacob.
Another random thing. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts would be on this too, because I noticed, and I'm not complaining at all, but a lot of people, when we were talking to them, their pitch was, "Hey, you can play this in like 15 minutes." I just thought
know.
Everyone.
Really interesting swing. I think we're on that pendulum swing with games. This is just my theory on it, because we went really, really far where you got board games with books as big as a
3-4
core
hours.
rule book. Yeah.
A wargaming board game.
Yes, basically. And now we're getting a lot of people, their sales pitch was like,
Quick.
you can sit down, play it in 15 minutes, pull from
Yeah,
the same deck.
We can do
What can I say?
15
Yeah.
minutes. It's quick. It's easy. It's simple.
It's really interesting. I like all of it, but
Yeah.
I'm curious if it has to do with a lot too. We're getting a lot of second and third generation nerds at this point, at least from my perspective. Bring our kids into this, but we can only get them to sit down for 15, 30 minutes.
Because that's what they've been used to for their society.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But Dan, what was you had interviewed one booth where they like the costumes were amazing, and someone had like a tortoise shell they could wear.
Oh yeah, that was Magusha.
That looked wild, and they're
they're-
local to Philly, right?
They are local to Philly. Yep. It was like we didn't talk to the actual creator, but the two ladies there were helping sell it. And Magusha Clash of Champions, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't think their Kickstarter's live yet. So
Okay.
we're gonna have videos coming out too, where I've broken up just our interviews as separate single videos too. So keep an eye out for that. But that was Saturday, I think. Yeah, Magusha, Magusha.
Clash of Commanders.
Clash of Commanders. That's
Clash
it.
of
Yeah.
Commanders. And if you don't follow Wes and Dan, they have a lot more footage for PAX than I do. So go follow.
Ours is
them.
chaotic. Wes is good and organized.
I don't know if you can say that. I forget to hit focus and record and all sorts of.
The audience doesn't know.
The artist doesn't. Yeah.
Except I tell them.
That's the honest flaw.
So the only thing I guess I experienced that you guys didn't was there was a meet and greet for indie developers. I mean, Wes stopped by to say hi. I'm sure you got.
I interviewed like 4 people. I had a good time.
It was really neat to see these indie developers and what they were working on. And it was nice to. I got a lot of collaboration out of that. So there was a game. I noticed that one of them was from Portland, Maine, and I was like, "You're from Portland?" And they're like, "Yeah." It was Goose Poop Games.
Was that wasn't the Blades in the Dark guy?
No.
Who was that? Oh.
That was the guy that was next to me while I was running mine.
Okay.
This was before them. This was in the first session.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Okay, I wasn't there the first one.
They do a lot of quick games, like quick card games and they do have some small role-playing games too. So
okay.
Goose Poop Games.
I love the name.
Yeah, I did too. And the guys there were pretty cool. Yes, Goose Poop Games. Yep.
Nice.
I remember walking by that, I think.
I love that. So I talked to you, Dave. So you're one of the interviews that I did. But 2 of the people at that Indie Games one, I went to the second session. The first one was these guys.
The Thieves of the Tomb.
Oh, okay.
This was a wild one. So it's like, well, what's going on here? I'm like, well, we're making spells. I'm like, okay, how do you do that? It's like, well, you just look at the chapter title of a book. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay. Like literally, it's like, and I asked him, it's like, so like you literally just say, hey, we're playing a game, bring like your 5 favorite books. It's like, uh-huh. And so if someone comes in, like they're going to be snarky and brings the technical manual, that's what they have to do. It's like, oh yeah, we hope for that. I'm like, okay, cool. And so they're like, we're going to make a spell and you can save it for someone else. I'm like, okay. And so like, and he opened the book to the table of contents and he just went, okay, so like use like the first 12 chapters, just pick one of these chapter titles and that's the title of your spell. I'm like, okay. Chapter 1 was Deep Dark Secret. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's my spell. Yeah, Deep Dark Secret. It's like, okay, great. Now describe something that's like the deep dark secret that most people don't know. I'm like, how to use Google for technical support? It's like, okay, great. You know what? So now everyone in the world except for you has forgotten how to use Google for technical support. I'm like, no, that's too real. No, you can't do that to me. No, that's trauma. But that's you divine, like the part of the game is like to develop your spells, but this conversation with people by just looking at chapter titles of the book, and then you roll from there. I never even got into the rolling mechanics, but we're going to talk when they're going to have it out for Zine Quest this year in February.
Oh, cool.
So we're actually going to talk to advance it, which is really cool. And then the other thing, which Jacob should get for his Westmarch game, if you're trying to make ruins, which you should have, Dan, is When the Walls Fall.
Ooh.
So it was like the person who is there for Soul Muppet Publishing, which I think is like the coolest title for a publisher.
I do like that.
She was average like demoing 2 games. So one was from Soul Muppet Publishing, which was an anti-capitalist demon hunting game, which just blew my absolute mind. That was pretty fun. But the other one was When the Walls Fall, and she developed this. which is just like you roll dice in a specific order and you build a dice tower. And you try to get through like every roll of the dice is like a different aspect of the city, and you look on on a roll table to see what it is, and then
Is
you have to build.
Malamute? Is that right?
Yes, moment. And then you have to build the thing up to the top to get to the end. So I'm doing it like one-handed with my camera and trying to build it. I knocked the thing over on 3, and she's like, "Yeah, that city didn't last long," which is fine. But then there's this whole grid that you're laying it in, and where the dice fall and roll is what's left over after the city's destroyed.
Also,
I mean, for like creating ruins is like the
Yeah.
coolest thing. It was like the coolest thing.
if
So
I'm
I
looking right,
about it.
itch.io says it's $2.
Yeah, I think right now it's
So-
like a minimum of 5 is what they suggest. So I actually bought
Yeah.
it for $5.
Oh.
It is they have a
That's like
printable version of it.
no-brainer.
They have a printable version of it, and then they have an A3 size page that's got
Okay.
bleed on it. So like take it to like a professional print shop, they can trim it down because
Right.
the A3 size, like if you look at my video, which I think is going up tomorrow, that thing is beautiful. Like that is one of the coolest things that I've seen. And it's just this one sheet of A3 paper that folds over. So it's almost like having gates. It's really neat. Like that was a
I
cool
see
thing.
that. That's so great. Jake does stuff at libraries too. This would be really fun to do
Oh,
in
it's
person.
perfect.
Oh yeah.
And even for like a writing prompt to like create a city that fell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool.
Right.
So
That's what I was thinking when you were talking about the ruins and stuff. Yeah.
yep. That was one of my most fun things.
See, I didn't get to see that because it was during my time, so I was stuck. That was my biggest problem is I wanted to go see what all the other indie games developers were doing.
I mean, I could have manned your table for you for 15 minutes and give everybody wrong information.
Yeah. It's a mess. People are crying.
There were like 3 people around Dave trying to talk to him about Ironbound and Plaguebound, and there's just one lady standing on the side, and I was like, well, I can talk to her a little bit about it.
I appreciate that.
Enough to keep her around and interested and learning stuff, right? And then
Yes.
kind of handed a card over to Dave, and as soon as he was free, he came over, and I was like, all right, I don't want to take the limelight, but I want to make sure that nobody walks away not knowing or being able to talk.
There's a lot of new people
wingman.
here. There's a lot of new people in the chat right now, and if
Sweet.
you guys don't know, I wrote 2 books, 2 role-playing games. One of them is called Ironbound. It's an urban fantasy role-playing game. The other
is
one
incredible.
And that one was fully backed. It should be released in March if I get it to the editors this month. I don't know if that's going to happen. The second game is Plaguebound. Plaguebound is a urban fantasy game, and that is coming to Backerkit in March.
A dark fantasy game.
A dark fantasy. It's basically a world that is being taken over by a sentient plague, and you have to survive in it. And it's not your typical fantasy races either. They're unique races. It's not your elves or dwarfs. It's like you can play an owl bear, you can play a mushroom, a Japanese style mushroom race.
I want to play the cute Muppet dragon imp thing.
The imp race.
Oh yes. You need to. By the way, Dave, you need to leave the Ranger as it is. That arcane shot is wonderful.
No, it's getting changed.
It allowed me to run thunderous dice rolls. It was so.
Yeah,
Did you blow something up?
Yeah.
It's all right. If I would have rolled it, I would have rolled all ones.
Well, the paladin we had, he blew so much to get a thunderous dice pool of I think 5 dice, and he got a total of 5.
Oh my gosh.
That's me.
Oh, he was as a player, he did not look entertained or amused by his results.
No, but he did enjoy the game.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a fun time, but he was like, yeah, I'm going to do this and this.
Fine.
I wish I could have sat down.
He enjoyed it so much that he actually came to Plaguebound. I mean,
That's awesome. Ironbound, that's great.
Did he roll better in Ironbound?
He did.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure anytime a player says this is really good, don't touch it, the designer's like alarm bells go off.
It was definitely broken, but it was a lot of fun.
It was totally broken. There's going to be a cost to your pools for that. So right now, basically, you can make any arrow elemental, and it doesn't cost you a pool because I forgot to write that it costs a pool.
There it
It
is.
costs us a pool point, but it's a pool point of your choice. So why am I going to take it out of Arcane, which is my lowest, if I can take it out of some of my higher ones, and then I can do it lots of times.
Many big booms.
And this is why I hate min-maxers.
This is why
I was in the character. I was playing my character, Wes.
He's
Yeah.
optimizing. It's efficiency.
So to be fair, Wes, I didn't do it every time. Okay. I didn't do it every time I could have.
One
I
time
only did it. I think I did it 2 or 3 times, but I only did it when it was like a big guy. And I'm like, let's blow him up.
Honestly, I've got to make both Ironbound and Plaguebound a little bit more deadly.
I'm in favor of this. And then we have to name Dan's character Gary.
Gary, yeah.
So
He's going to become a
better be
legacy
Susan.
death character.
it's just your character is now Gary in every system I play. It's just it.
I love it. Impossibly survives till the bitter end.
I mean, he's now canonically in Plaguebound, so it's like, hey.
You want to keep talking loot?
Yeah, Tux, are we switching to loot?
Yeah, let's talk to loot. What did you guys all get? Because honestly, I didn't get anything. I got like a little stuffy of an owl for my son, but that's all I got.
Mike looks like he's ready to go.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was the first time my family has been to a con. So they had a blast visiting, seeing, looking. I walked around once with Dave inside the expo or the exhibit hall, and I think I walked around once or twice on my own inside the exhibit hall. But I somehow missed that like whole back corner where AAW Games is at, and a whole bunch of the other booths that are sitting over there, a bunch of smaller booths.
Simple.
Completely missed it. So, exactly, I think I was just walking around and like seeing everything and amazed by the dice tower and drooling over Lethal Shadows dice that they had laying out. But my wife comes back and she's like, "So you need to go in. You need to go to this booth in this place, and you need to go get their book." And I was like, "Their book?" She's like, "Yeah, it's like 5.5 pounds of drow." We're getting a baby drow? Okay.
What a great line.
What a definition. It's 5.5 pounds of drow. That's now
So
a measurement.
So I walk over and I walk up to AA Games. I'm like, "Hey guys, so my wife told me I need to come in and buy a baby drow." And they're like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, she said I need to come over and buy a baby drow." And the guy's eyes light up and he goes, "I know just what you need. Rise of the Drow."
Ooh, okay.
And it is a beautiful book. I have not yet made it through, but from what I have sat down and read through, very good. Very much focused on the Underdark, as is Rise of Drow. Covers like levels 1 through 20. Dave, it's that system you don't like, so I won't say it, but it's kind of D20 based.
Something with dragons and
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people, listen, there's a lot of other people that play it too. It's got an urban fantasy version out. Anyways, look.
Is it by a company about like
No, we're not going to.
Oh.
It shall not be named. But they also
We're
had
treating them like
Underworld
Voldemort now?
races and classes, which was, really cool. I think there's like 14 races in here, and then some special subclasses for each of those races. And then at the end of the day, on Saturday, we went over to Monte Cook Games to go play Devil's Dandy Dogs. It was over in their area.
What time did you
Or
play?
in their room. Devil's Dandy Dogs, that was like 7-ish.
Because you know what? Because they needed a GM for that. I had just gotten done my Numenera game. And like, Wes, have you ever run that? I'm like, I never have. So
Oh,
I don't own that one yet, so I couldn't run it. I hear it's hysterical.
It was a blast. It was tons of fun. But before we could sit down, because we got there like 30, maybe 40 minutes early. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we're just happened to be there. My wife comes back with a book, and I was like, "Oh, so what's this book?" And Coyote and Crow.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, they were selling
Ah.
that at Monte Cook's room. That book's beautiful.
It is a beautiful.
So-
I'm not.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
I
I've not
didn't
sat
know it
down
was
and
in
read that
print
one.
now. That's awesome.
So really
But
interesting
I
thing
almost
about
backed it
that
on
book.
Kickstarter.
Really interesting
Yes.
thing about that book is they are fully artists and writers are all indigenous. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's superbly done. The system is fun and interesting, unlike some other companies.
Dave really likes it because it's a D12
It's a D12 system.
I didn't really. There it is.
Yeah, Dan, you have like the biggest game store on the East Coast. I'm pretty sure they will have Coyote and Crow on the
I
shelf
hope so.
somewhere.
Do you know what's weird? They don't have any roll for combat stuff.
Really?
So yeah, I've been trying. The owner's a little.
Little reticent.
I don't know. I'll leave it there with an
There you go.
ellipses.
Because I've seen Coyote and Crow in
There's
like
a little-
3 different stores in this area.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
got.
I have the
can't
PDFs,
remember.
but I need to get the print.
Jacob or Adam told me about it because they're both into the Western stuff and all of that. So yeah, it sounds awesome.
I do
It's a
have to
very different world.
shout out a great studio that was there, Snowbright Studio. They're the makers of Ink and
Ooh.
Cozy Companions.
Mm.
They had some really interesting things there. Like they had a game called a Sectarium, which basically is a nice little, cool, interesting game. But I got to call them out. I am friends with their media person. I do have to say that, but they were pretty awesome and nice and amazing.
Nice.
What else? Anything else you guys want to talk about?
I got a couple. Hold on.
All right.
So as I lean over, so I have never reviewed Dungeon Crawl Classics for the channel, and the reason why is because I made a fatal error when I picked up Dungeon Crawl Classics, and I got this version, and this is not good for reading.
No, it's not.
It's
Hey,
it's not.
Dave. Gamers on Gamers here is on.
Oh, Dave, how you doing, man?
Hey,
Gamers on Games. I'll get it right.
So, Gamers on Games. So I got that,
yeah.
but oh, good grief.
Jake says
Who publishes Dungeon Crawl Classics? They were there. Goodman Games. Thank you. My brain just went ting. But Goodman Games was selling Dungeon Crawl Classics hardbounds for $15, and it's like 3 printings after the one that I have. I'm like,
Wow,
well, I'm gonna get that.
Wow.
So I got that on the shelf now. Where is it? It's right next to my Mutant Crawl Classic. So now I can read it again instead of reading it on PDF, and maybe I'll be less frustrated with it. And I'll finally review it. I really love Mutant Crawl Classics, so we'll see what that happens.
I know whenever I print a book it'll be for Wes, and I'll sign it, and it will be soft cover, giant floppy with glossy pages and no
book
ribbons.
ribbon. It's the way that you can get dinged for me is to always never do book ribbons and do glossy paper. So, and then I picked up this from Steve Jackson.
I didn't know that existed.
So Steve Jackson Games put out on the media list for PAX Unplugged that they were going to have a bunch of things to give away for review copies.
Oh my gosh.
Like, well, I wouldn't mind looking at that. And they were really, really nice. So Katie Duffy from Steve Jackson Games was there, and she was kind enough to sit down for an interview with me, which is on my channel. But I also got this as a review copy. So this is a review copy. So that
was
was
a fun game, Munchkin.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
yeah.
and I had my interest in what drew me into that is, and I asked her this in the interview, and I went, so Munchkin is this like whimsical, lighthearted, stab your fellow players in the back game with a lot of amusing
Jumbo Shrimp.
anecdotes and things. She's like, yeah, Shadowrun is not that. So like, It's pretty much the opposite of that. And she actually had a really good answer. She's like, well, yeah, but you have this thing where the more serious the game is, the sillier it gets when you're playing it. And I went, oh yeah, okay, that's totally gonna work, isn't it? She's like, oh yeah, it works. I'm like, okay,
It's
good.
not like Wes. She's probably heard that question 1,000 times because
But it's like what made me in the game. I'm like, how are they going to pull this off?
I'm
Because
just picking on you, Wes. You
it's
know that.
awful.
I was
know.
gonna tease the way my friends and I play it. It made perfect sense to me.
That makes perfect sense. So then I got this from Evil Genius Games.
Nice.
Which
They
which
ran
they-
out when I got there. Before
Are
I
you
got
kidding me?
Oh,
So I got a review copy from Haley at Evil Genius Games, and she gave this to me, even though I forgot to hit record the first time I did an interview.
She
She
told me
was-
to reach out to her. So.
she was
And I
like,
couldn't.
yeah, I was gonna say
they'll
we could help.
definitely give you one if you ask.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been interested in this for a while since Jacob ran it at EcclesiaCon last year.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it is 5e based, but Jacob likes it, so there must be something that they're doing right. They have a really whole bunch of cool cinematic ideas for it. You can get like Highlander for it. I'm like, cool.
I
That
had
would
this
be
great
fun.
idea
What's that?
because I've been trying to think of a way that I could get Ironbound into 5e. And
Okay.
that gave me Everyday Heroes
Oh, yeah.
was a way somebody said, hey, maybe you should check out Everyday Heroes. So I'm in
Yeah.
talks with them about licensing right now.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yes, do that, because I think it would work perfect.
Very nice.
Yeah, me too.
And then the third thing I got was this book. This is from the Dungeon's Key, Jean-Luc, who I met in the media room. This is a pre-release copy. Like it's got like art is like, we need art. Like it's just blank for this. But this is called Dirtbags, where you're literally just playing. Dirtbags is a rules light cinematic sci-fi shooter RPG. And the players are known as dirtbags. They take the role of convicts in a corporate-run dystopian world, coerced into the Military Foundation's Rehabilitation Incentive Program, otherwise known as RIP. So, I'm going to read this. Actually, Jean-Luc said he wants to set up some time with like some people trying to run and play the game in like February. So I'm interested in playing that with him.
Yeah,
That's literally all I got this year because I missed Outgunned, unlike some other people who were here.
There's an odd buzzing in your ear, Neil.
I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, come on. You
So-
have
Nice.
contact information.
That you didn't
Wes.
make it. You're disappointed that you didn't make it.
I
Nothing to
wanted
do
to be
with
able.
Neil.
Yes, it has nothing to do with him. I'm just disappointed
Yeah.
in me. So
Because Neil feels almost appointed.
so it was good.
I won't
really
lie.
appreciate that.
I already knew that when I invited Neil on.
Actually, I think he told me that on the Discord. I was like, I hate you.
Um,
Oh yeah, because I posted the picture.
Yeah, Enrico and Simone. I just wanted to meet them face to face because they're such good guys.
they are.
They
Good guys.
really are.
Mm.
So,
I got to get them on my channel. I have.
oh
to
yeah,
reach
you
out to them.
definitely, and they will come on. Just ask them.
I know they will. I just haven't had time to ask you for their email. So.
Oh, I'll give it to you. Doug gave it to me. I'll give it to you. Actually, you Avenue Studios, you should have them on. Like you guys should play a session of Outgunned
I would love that. I
because
think
that game's
too.
insane.
Yeah.
I gotta play it.
Well, there's literally a role that you could. I think it's like what is it? You get 6 of the same kind.
Yeah.
Like the player who rolls it takes complete control of the scene.
I think it's if you get Yahtzee.
Is it
1, 2, 3,
Yahtzee?
4, 5,
Yahtzee.
6.
Were you telling me about that before, Wes?
Oh, I was telling you.
Oh, it was Dave. Yes.
But I was telling you about this thing. So
Yeah.
when I was interviewing some like the guys from Two Little Mice, I was like, guys, so this is a really cool mechanic. Like, yeah. Like, does this ever happen? And I forget which one of them said it's like, you have no idea. I was so annoyed with my players because they were getting like all uppity, like, oh, we can defeat anything. This game is so easy. And I made I did the thing that you're not supposed to do. And I completely made all your characters will die in this encounter. Like there was no getting, like they were just going to be completely obliterated. And like in one of the first rolls, somebody rolled that and derailed the whole thing. And I was like, you've got to
TPK gone bad.
TPK gone bad.
We are gods.
So like when I heard that, I already liked the system. When I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely have to play this.
I'm
my
running
God.
it. I'm running it at your con, Wes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sit at that table if we're not running at the same time.
Oh, sweet.
So I am definitely running it. That means I have to read it and actually understand the game before I.
You have a
before
little
I
bit
go.
more than 2 weeks.
No, I have
So
more
that'll be
than
fun.
no. It's not
He's
Paige.
teasing you.
No, I said you have a little bit more than 2 weeks. You're fine.
Okay. All right.
You'll be good.
When
Not
is
so
your
much.
con?
Neil, my con is March 28th through 30th. It's in Palmyra, New Jersey. So
That-
where are you located?
Salisbury, Mass. So I'm about 6 hours away from you.
Well, I mean, you can probably hook a ride with Dave. I don't know. So
That's a possibility.
although I only have one spare bedroom. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you do only have one.
I'm gonna.
We'll all squeeze in. We'll carpool
Um,
down. We're coming from New
Oh, that's
York.
right. We were
so-
talking about you being in Salisbury because I used to hang out up there.
Yep.
So it should be. It's going to be a fun time.
So yeah.
If somebody submits their games,
Look, I tried to keep my games light this year. Last year I was so busy I couldn't do anything.
I'm
He's
not
not-
even talking to
he's
you.
not
I'm
talking about you,
Dave.
Dave.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to run the fun. I'm like, well, register the games. I can't even open tickets. I have like 6 tables. Put your games in.
All right.
They're coming.
Oh, I'm hoping that John McGuire from 321 Games is going to be there from like Ham and Egg
Oh, sweet.
Publishing. So he
Nice.
did. If you saw the video of that, he's got a holiday themed zombie escape crawl that he made.
I'm really hoping
Well,
to have
Did that already
some
go up on
iron
your
bound.
channel?
What's
Wes?
that?
Did that
Oh,
already
I'm
go up?
Yeah, it's already up.
I'll have to
It's
catch it.
called Seasons Eatings.
I'm really
And you-
hoping to have some ironbound books for
Yeah,
for the con.
Please, I
but
would love
Oh,
that.
yeah, dude.
I don't
but-
know if I'll have it in time. So
Ugh, even if you can
Well-
get a couple print on demands early, like preview copies.
I'm gonna
for
put Jake on the line and do this official. The
You're
funnel
running-
will be, because as far as I know, the Great Mustache will be there, and he has made something amazing for it.
He told me, he sent me pictures. I'm looking forward to having Great Mustache there. It'll be awesome.
Mustache already submitted games. He's teasing me in chat.
Wait, did he?
That's what he says.
he said I submitted a game already.
I'll have to, did he submit? All right, I'll look it up. I think. Oh yeah, you did. I forgot about that. That's good.
I'll
And
do it.
Dave was actually there for the Seasons Eatings interview. We were both sitting there trying not to laugh. Like my camera is shaking. Because the game, like your equipment is determined by playing a white elephant contest via a roll table at the beginning of the game. Because you're all Mall Santas or Mrs. Clauses who are at the post-season like party at a, what was it called? It wasn't called TGI Fridays. It was like, thank goodness it's Tuesdays because they lost the license to TGI Fridays. Like that's how bizarre this game is. And so like the zombie outbreak
Well
happens,
done.
and that's your white elephant thing is the only equipment you have.
We should make it
Cool.
clear that you meant Dave from Gamers on Games.
Dave
not-
Gamers
I was
on
gonna say
Games,
he
not
just
you, Dave.
shouted in chat. Yeah.
Yes, he shouted in chat.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
funny. Yeah,
I
it was-
think
that
I'll
game's
probably
awesome.
submit some. I might do our DC-21 shot that we're gonna do the Kickstarter for. So I'll
I
get that
promise
out.
Yeah, do that.
I will close my eyes and put my hands over. No, by then I'll have played it.
Yeah, you'll have played it. I know Dave was gonna help do the beta testing, and I'm like, that'd be really cool if it's your first experience live. Actually,
I
We'll
do
see.
need to play DC-20. I know
Uh,
you guys tell me I'm gonna like it.
Dave, it's
Oh.
only Tuesday.
I mean, Jake, if he likes it, he'll tell you you're gonna like it. I don't know. You might like it. It's pretty great. I enjoy it very much.
I backed it, and I'm but I haven't really heard much about it. I kind of was busy in other things, but I'm excited for it.
Well,
Oh,
Avenue
dude,
Studios is doing a live and actual play. So
That's actually where this came from. Is a one shot we did in DC-20.
ding dong, mother cluckers.
I will check that out. I subscribed. Well, I just subscribed to you today. Well, both. Well, and I watched your video about your top 10 the other day.
Oh
Wes,
yeah, thank you for watching
sorry,
that.
yeah.
That's
But,
awesome.
Very
Dude.
fun.
Well, we'll have to get you guys in some DC-21 shots. We've really enjoyed it as an alternative to that other one.
All right.
Thou
Bye,
shalt
Dave.
not be
Seltzer water,
named.
but
Skull.
there we go.
Could I just go the stuff I grabbed?
Go.
Absolutely, please.
So I actually I was actually sent on a mission. Someone needed to get a book from the Burning Wheel booth, and I guess they couldn't find it. So I went to the Burning Wheel booth, got the book, and so I shipped it to them. But then I also picked up the Burning Wheel, and I
Ooh.
got Luke Crane to sign it.
Oh man,
Ooh.
you're on top of it, bro.
Yeah.
He's getting everything signed.
Yeah.
No, jeez.
And I will eventually when I get I love RPG. Well, I'm sure most of us do. But I love RPGs. I have a bookshelf right behind me here, and then I have one that's off camera. And yeah, bookshelf. Yeah, we all have bookshelf. But then
Mine's breaking.
I they were just talking to me, and what you were saying earlier about like 10-15 minutes, this is what their pitch was. And it seems, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the game Monikers, but there's like a second round. Basically it's a card game, team-based card game.
Okay.
But the second round, you take a card and you have to say one word, and this is kind of like that, but it you basically play like 4 cards, and those are the rules. Then you can only say cards that are basically like begins with L. You can only say L like words.
Oh, okay, cool.
I talked to just I knew nothing about this. I was just talking to the guy, and it seems like a beginner introductory role playing game.
I love the art on
Oh, is
there.
that start
Starts
here?
here?
Yes.
Oh, I did
was
hear
in the-
about that.
Yeah, it was in the back corner. What else?
Is that a box set?
Yes.
Ooh, no. What's in the box set?
That's
Ooh. Wow. So paper.
Okay, yeah. Wait, is it gloss? Is it glossy paper?
that looks pretty
no.
matte.
No, it's
Yeah.
matte.
That's matte
What's
paper. Okay,
matte?
we're good. We're good. It's fine.
And then
Wait, that's in the box? Okay, you flip the box over.
yeah, I
Okay,
had to.
cool. I thought there was a box in the box. I was like, cool.
I'm a genius.
So
Oh,
that's
nice.
Like a
the- I
player's
think the-
guide.
Yep.
DM.
Beginning
Okay.
players. And then like he showed me the character sheet book 2 experienced players. And then there's a book 3. And yeah, it has that
What's-
was just it, the 3 box.
What type of? I would have loved to pick that up. What type of mechanic is it?
It's I think it's basically D&D distilled, so it's regular D20.
Okay.
But it's I think you can see this is the what's it called? Character sheet.
Oh, that's
Okay.
really
So pretty
distilled.
simplified,
Yeah.
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 Purifying.
So yeah, so
Nice.
that's it's I think just like a very simple like get in the door type of role playing game. Because he wanted to I was talking to him, and he was just saying that it was he wanted to make it for like everyone, but he didn't want to make it look like for like or like children and stuff. He
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
wanna
yeah.
make- So it has a bunch of like fantasy based art, and so I actually this is the first time I have taken out, but it's one of the things I picked up.
That's really
Um,
nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That box looks really nice.
Oh yeah. No, the whole thing that's the back.
Yeah, that's
of,
pretty good.
And then so before when we were driving in the car, I was watching Professor Dungeon Master, and he was going over Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Yeah. Yep.
and I bought it.
Okay, look at you.
Did you get it signed?
You got
I
me.
did not. I did not. I
That's
probably,
still in plastic.
Yeah, it's still in plastic. I haven't.
By the way,
taken it
Neil,
out yet.
feel free to come to a QuizzyCon, bring all those books, and forget as many as you want.
They will be safe, well
and then
loved.
Steve Jackson. I've heard about this a while. They did Revolution, but they have a Pathfinder version.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
so
Nice.
it's still in the box, but this is I have some time coming off and I'm gonna like look into these, learn it, and then play it with friends of mine.
Nice.
Is that
And,
like
nice.
is that like a combat game, or what is that?
Yeah, it's I think it's like a bidding control important people and guilds. So there's different.
So it's a punch your friends in the face game.
So
I
it's
think there's
and
different
it's-
tokens you can I think bet on.
so he's designed
yeah.
a game, but he put it in like Galorian or the Pathfinder setting.
That's kind of
think
cool.
Revolution
Okay, so
was-
like 3 Dragon Ante and
Yeah.
I think so.
That's cool.
Okay.
But I'll
Wow.
have to and
It's cool
then-
that he got to do that with Paizo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So not only did Neil get everything signed, he also got the most out of all of us.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I was gonna say earlier. So right before I went to Walmart and I bought like a cheap duffel bag,
Okay.
but it's on wheels because when I was at Gen Con, I had this like over the shoulder, and I have as a GM you have a bunch of stuff,
Yes.
Yeah.
and so I needed something with wheels, so I bought the duffel bag, and so I was able to put most of that stuff in the duffel bag. So I didn't have to like put it anywhere. I just was
Yes.
just walking around with it.
This man knows
So-
what he's doing.
I say smart man.
And
Smart
the,
man.
the people with the rollable
I did the
luggage,
same
I
thing.
like next year I'm doing that. I couldn't buy anything this year.
I gotta
so
know now when I see them, like they're spending money. That's
that or they're running a game later.
Why
They
is
just-
everybody
Well,
keep talking
yes.
to me?
I was running 14 games. That's why I had my rolling bag.
oh man.
But no, because I had I was at Gen Con this past year,
Okay.
and if you've ever been, that's middle of summer, it's hot, and you're walking from the parking lot around the Lucas Oil Stadium, and
Yeah.
I had all this like shoulder bag that was not meant for that, so I bought a just a rollable luggage backpack, or not a backpack, but so I'm
Duffel
gonna
bag.
bring
Right.
that. Yeah.
You're a
Very
role
nice.
player. The proper equipment is very important.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then
What else did you get, Neil?
that was it from. But you
Alright.
talked about Numeria. I got this at Gen Con.
Numenera.
Numenera.
Yeah, Numenera.
sorry.
I love
Numenera.
that game.
And
That's
then
because you don't have to roll dice.
Listen, I ran 2 sessions of Numenera in an adventure that is designed to have a bunch of players die. Do you know how many players died in my 2 sessions, Dan or Dave?
Well, I mean,
One.
unless I have to
And-
report to the police, I hope 0.
I had 1 character die.
There
Sorry.
you go.
It's the endless
I love it.
confusion, right?
It's the perfect.
I had 1 character die. And actually, like, so Charles from Mighty Cook Games is like, he just kind of looked at me, he's like, 1? Because he knew the things. Like, they just made really good choices, and my monsters can't hit anything. I don't know what to say. Like, they're all running 20s. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Because even when you're not rolling, you can't roll.
I'm rolling dice. The curse follows me around.
We say it on our channel a lot. The dice giveth and they taketh away.
No, they just take. They just
They
take.
just take for a while.
And take and take.
so
Dave has watched it. Yes. What else you got there, Neil?
one thing I did, I found this out last time. I don't like wearing the lanyards that they give at conventions because I don't want to wear I don't know what I just don't like wearing them. I want
Okay.
to like, if I'm running Pathfinder, I want to have say Pathfinder
Oh, that's a
or
cool idea.
like Philly Cube.
Okay.
So a game master. So what I did is I just I guess you can I got my lanyards made with
Oh, look at
your
that.
title.
Oh,
That's
Game
awesome.
Master Neal.
yeah, Game
Dude,
Master Neal.
that's
and,
awesome.
Look at
So
him.
yeah, no, so
Yes.
instead of their lanyards, I just grabbed this and
Neil, do you have a YouTube channel?
I don't.
Because
You have all the
you're
stuff to
kicking
do
the
it.
you're kicking the branding off out the park.
I know.
So
No, I don't have any like social media or anything like that. Well, I do
Okay.
have personal social media, but no, I don't
Don't let Wes change you. You're the normal one.
I mean, he's got all the branding.
I know,
I do,
seriously,
I,
man.
I do want to know where you got the custom lanyards from. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, that looks
talk-
really
I'm
cool.
gonna talk to you after. Okay.
Sure.
That's
Um,
awesome, dude.
I like those.
yeah, I think that covers PAX. I mean, for me at least.
I will say, to schmooze the host of the show, my favorite part was having dinner with Dave.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Legit, that was awesome, man.
I thought it was getting lost outside the convention center in 30-degree weather.
We did that too, also. And then we went to one place, and when we went, this will be just a fun lore story for Avenue Studios and Grimwood Games. We go to this place, we're waiting, we're looking at it, and everyone's watching sports ball and cheering. Jacob and I are in our full fantasy get-ups and stuff, and we all were kind of like, I don't think we're supposed to be here.
Philly is a different place, Dan. I'm
It
just
was so
pointing that
funny.
out to you.
Well, we went to I can't remember what it was called, but it was an
Con
Irish.
Murphy.
Con Murphy, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was much better. Waitress was hilarious.
And the food was amazing.
It was.
I ordered chicken tenders,
gonna
thinking
say.
I was just gonna get frozen chicken.
Like frozen
tenders.
chicken. Oh no, not here.
It was
no.
chicken. It was chicken breasts. It was so good.
So next year,
Man knows a good breast.
we need to do, so next year we need to do a reservation. We need to do Mission Tacos.
Mission Tacos. I would love
Because
to try
it's down in, it's literally like Philly's got an area called the Gayborhood. So it's like literally in the Gayborhood. It is. I am not kidding. They are the best chicken tacos I've ever had in my life. Like I literally, I had an order and I want more and ordered a second order.
If we're all
that good,
we should meet up at some time if we're all down there next year and do like the loser version of a DC 20 Gen Con meetup where it was like all the real people. Hey, look at all of us.
So Dan, we were saying, because we were with Dave from Gamers on Games in the media room on Friday, was it, Dave?
Yeah.
We're like, we already have a network. We should just be like, oh, here's our network. And it's like
Yes.
Dan and Jacob do news and live plays. Wes does reviews. Dave makes games and does live plays. And Dave from Gamers on Games, and I do all the social justice nonsense. I'm like, okay, good. There we go. We got all the bases covered. It's really, really fun.
We'll just act like we're big, and
just
then
act
everyone
like we're big, and
think.
we'll fake it until we make it.
Yeah,
Be fine.
fake it till we make it.
But yeah, I think you're right, Dave. We need to do the like. Here's the second tier meetup. Let's
Yeah.
go.
We got to have Neil there. Look, he's not even on social media.
But he's got better branding than
He's
any
got
of
better
them.
branding. Yes.
It's okay. We'll get Neil into. He'll come back to the channel, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you.
We'll,
Oh,
get
yeah,
him,
definitely.
we'll get him playing some games or running some games on my channel.
Yes.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Oh, I think you're muted. Did
No,
He was talking.
okay, I just didn't hear you. I thought I heard you.
Weird.
I thought you were talking. Problem was I was looking at something that was previous. I wasn't-
Multitasking.
I was multitasking.
Squirrel.
But definitely, if you ever want to come back on and play a game, let me know. You're
love to.
totally welcome.
Oh, this is a fun
definitely.
group to play with. A
All
fun
right,
group to play
so
Oh, no,
let's go ahead.
This chat has been awesome.
It's been fun
It has.
having you guys all on.
Thanks,
All
Mike.
at the same time and just chatting, not playing a game. It was nice. Let's I'm going to raid a channel. We're gonna raid out tonight. We're gonna go ahead and raid out to Stellar because Stellar's doing
Oh,
he's doing a game, he's playing a game. So let's go raid out to him. He's playing Phasmovia, so it's a horror game. So it's a little
nice.
bit different. So fair warning everybody.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go see him and say hi to him. He's been playing for a while, so I don't know how long he's playing, but let's go say hi to him. The rest of you on YouTube, thank you for being here. I'm not rating on YouTube because I can't yet. So
It's funky.
I can't
never
do
even
it yet.
tried.
Anyways,
I've
so
never tried.
you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you guys so much for being here. We will talk to you guys all later, I'm sure.
Bye.
Farewell.
And
And rated.